One of the more obscure black horror films that most people don't know about is Black Frankenstein, or Blackenstein. Like many other black horror films of the time, it was molded after the gothic stories of the past. This era of black horror saw films like Blackula, Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde, and Abby, which were all some framework based off of popular horror movie monsters of previous films. In this film, Black Frankenstein molds the story of Frankenstein with the Black American experience. This film explores themes of experimentation on black bodies as well as violence and rage implanted at the hands of war. And in this video, we are going to look at how Black Frankenstein painted a picture of black Vietnam veterans. The film stars Ivory Stone, who plays Dr. Winifred Walker, who travels to Los Angeles to seek the help of an old professor by the name of Dr. Stein, played by John Hart. Her goal is to help her fiancé, Eddie Turner, played by Joe Dussault, who stepped on a landmine and lost both arms and legs in Vietnam. In the film, Dr. Stein is a recent winner of a Nobel Prize who secretly specializes in experiments outside of the realm of any institution. He performs DNA treatments other doctors aren't willing to try. Dr. Stein and Walker convince Eddie to try an experimental limb transplant surgery. When Stein's assistant Malcolm, played by Roosevelt Jackson, tries to make a move on Dr. Walker, she rejects him, and in return, Malcolm sabotages the experiment, causing Eddie to turn into a monster. Eddie then starts sneaking out at night, dismembering and disemboweling the local residents of Los Angeles. The film explores the idea of human experimentation. In black horror, this is a topic that black Americans know very well. For all of the forwardness of science, its history also has points of racism. Even outside of slavery, black people as guinea pigs is a very real fear. The most prevalent and most recent incident being the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. Black Frankenstein can be seen as tackling the theme of experimentation on black people in two different ways. The first and most prominent angle addresses the idea of the experiment in the first place. Dr. Stein is the white man who's capable of producing such horrifying creations, and judging from his patient pool, he goes after those who are weak and vulnerable. This can be seen much like the medical industry preying on those who don't have the ability to get insurance or general health care. But it goes a step deeper for black Americans. Being a minority group, in the past, no one has cared about black health besides black people. It makes it easy for sleazy corporations to try their products amongst us because who would take notice of a few black people dying from a disease and experimentation in the past besides other black people? It's the perfect cover to get away with illegal activity. The second angle is the lack of trust in medical professionals. Black Americans have a long history of receiving negligence from medical institutions to the point where there is a lack of trust in medical professionals. Eddie accepts the treatment, but it went horribly wrong because of Malcolm. Was the project doomed to fail? We don't know, but this can be inferred as a subtle sabotage that black Americans induce on themselves. If we put it into more of a modern context, Malcolm could be seen as an element of misinformation, negligence, and mystery within the medical industry that keeps so many black people skeptical. And another more explicit element that the film hints at is Vietnam. The men who came back from Vietnam weren't given the same praises as the World War II vets in the past. And some also came back with drug addictions. It's no secret that the scenes of Vietnam weren't pretty. Many of the men who came back from fighting returned with PTSD. I would assume that a man blown up by a landmine would experience such a thing too. Eddie's insatiable cannibalistic urges are a symbol of the trauma experienced during the war. And not only that, but it comes at night when Eddie is asleep. Coincidentally, this is the same time that many PTSD episodes happen. Black Frankenstein can be seen as a monster movie with a bit of body horror. The issue with the film is its budget and intent. The film doesn't take itself seriously because of the blaxploitation label. It's another case where the blaxploitation label cheapens the value of black horror, reducing it to mere entertainment. Thank you for watching this video. Before you go, leave us a comment, and if you like this video, leave us a thumbs up. If you want to continue diving into the world of black horror with us, hit the subscribe button and get notified whenever we post a video. Thank you, and see you in the next video.